titled Satan in a Skirt, The True Story of Irina Gaidamachuk, Russia's Granny Butcher, from the Vault of Secret of This World. Opening monologue, thunderous voiceover. Some monsters don't wear masks, they wear aprons. They knock on your door in daylight and ask for tea, but behind the smile is the face of death. This is not fiction. This is the real story of the woman Russians called Satan in a Skirt. The smile behind the door. Irina Gaidamachuk was not a ghost from the forest, nor a twisted cult leader. She was a petite woman with a plain face. No one feared her. No one suspected her. But from 2002 to 2010, in a string of quiet Russian towns across the Sverdlovsk Oblast, she left behind a trail soaked in blood and deception. She would knock on the doors of elderly women, pose as a social worker, and walk into their homes like a nurse sent from heaven. But what she carried wasn't paperwork or food supplies, it was a hammer, sometimes an axe, and always pure intent to kill. Act 2, her weapon of choice, alcohol and blood. Irina was an alcoholic, that's what she said. But alcohol doesn't explain the cruelty. This was more than addiction. This was a woman who planned her murders in broad daylight, chose her victims with precision, and killed with cold hands. She wasn't drunk when she did it. She was clear, deliberate. She needed money for vodka, yes, but what kind of soul sees life as so worthless, so disposable, that they would take it again and again and again? She bludgeoned at least 17 elderly women to death, one by one, alone, in their own homes. She often robbed them afterward, maybe 500 rubles here, 1,000 there. Small change. Not even enough for a bottle of decent spirit. In some cases, after killing, she burned the homes. Fire, smoke, ash, no witnesses, no trace. A perfect illusion. Act 3, the towns that slept while she killed. These were small towns, quiet towns. The kind of places where neighbors still wave, where people believe in God, where doors are left unlocked during the day. She knew that. She played on that. Irina didn't roam the streets like a maniac. She hunted. She observed. And when the time was right, she moved like a shadow with a clipboard. No one imagined that the killer was a woman. Russian authorities spent years looking for a man. What kind of woman could do such a thing? Certainly not a mother. Certainly not a neighbor. Certainly not Irina. But that was their mistake. Act 4. The mask slips. It wasn't until a 91-year-old survivor, barely clinging to life, described her attacker that police began to trace the footsteps. One woman, small frame, light hair, gentle voice, not a man, not a monster, a woman. By this time, the death toll was rising. Families didn't even know their grandmothers had been murdered. Many believed they died of natural causes. Some thought the fires were accidents. She was that careful, that good at hiding. But eventually, the mask slipped. She was caught in 2010. Act 5, Trial of a Demon. The Russian courtroom was silent when the charges were read. 17 murders, all elderly, all alone, all defenseless. She showed no emotion. She didn't deny it. She even laughed at one point. I was doing what I had to, she said. They were old. I needed money. They weren't going to use it. Cold, soulless, without remorse. Psychologists couldn't agree on her diagnosis. Some called her a psychopath. Others said she had narcissistic delusions. A few believed she was traumatized from childhood abuse, but none of it changed what she did. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison, Russia's maximum for women. Many called it a disgrace. A man would have gotten life or execution, but Irina, she will walk free before 2030. Act 6, Aftermath. Why we remember the people of Russia gave her a name. Satan in a Skirt. Not because of her body count, but because of how she looked while doing it. Ordinary, harmless, unassuming. She shattered the image of what evil is supposed to look like. She made it feminine, familiar, domestic, and that's what haunts people the most.